All right, welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Lifestyle Living Podcast. Now, today, what I want to talk to you guys about was, to be honest, I'm not sure what the episode title is going to be yet, but it's March 1st as of the day that I'm recording this, and I got into a rhythm of really, honestly, I probably shouldn't be recording, editing, uploading the same exact day because it ends up being a lot of work, but I like kind of doing the episode the same day that I release it because I feel like there's a little bit more impact to it. When I pre-record episodes, I feel like it's not as, sometimes the titles aren't as relevant. Obviously, I've been doing this for a long time. I have enough information and feedback from everyone and like analytics in terms of data to know how to operate in terms of if I want to make 6 months worth of podcast episodes and make them relevant, I could sit down and do that, but I feel like it just misses some of the genuine energy that I may be feeling. Like prime example, today's episode is honestly just me really sharing kind of what I've been going through behind the scenes with my personal life right now as I try to, prep for a bodybuilding show, as I try to continue to gain clients with my business, continue to serve my clients, continue to serve my community, obviously be a better man in general, better man for Emma, better family man, like all these different things, right? Like we're all trying to be the best versions of ourselves. And, if I was to pre-record an episode like this where I'm trying to give more connection side of what I'm doing, what like just life in general, like I can't plan that energy. I can bring it up and I can talk about topics in the context of things, but something like today or past like week, probably since I'd say probably Tuesday night, Wednesday was like kind of just like starting to feel heavy. And I was like, why am I feeling the burden of being heaviness, like the heaviness of it? And I just made a post on Instagram kind of talking about this context as, no matter what level of life you're at, like no matter how much success you've seen, no matter how much like achievements you've got, no matter what milestones you've got, no matter like the education, no matter how much you've grown, there's always still going to be that little bit of deep despair that you used to feel. Like that's why we all change our life, right? Like most of us have struggled and have traumatic experiences in life that make us flip a switch. And a lot of us have trouble flipping that switch, but we can all remember that time. Like, I love fitness because we can all relate to it. When we wanted to get in the best shape of our life, we all remember those moments in our life, how we felt that deep despair of like that pain, that agony, that the hole inside of our soul that we just weren't happy with how we felt and how we looked, and we weren't happy with how we looked and how we felt. And for us to make those changes, it doesn't come unless we admit we're not happy. You know what I mean? And in order to admit that, in order to embrace that, it's fucking incredibly hard. And, like the reason why I like using that is that as an example, because we've all been there. We've all had some type of trauma within our own personal look and wanted to change. You know what I mean? And, no matter how much fitness, no matter what level of fitness you're at, whether you get in the best shape of your life, you run marathons, you do high rocks, you do bodybuilding, you do perform, whatever it is, like, no matter what height it is, you're still going to remember that version of you that wasn't in shape. You're still going to remember that version of you that didn't feel like they were in control, or they weren't confident. And those days they don't feel your best, you're going to catch yourself maybe looking at the mirror or looking at yourself in a mirror or in photos and just judging yourself, right? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because this goes in all areas of life. And for me personally, like last time I felt like this was in October of last year. I was really honest about that then as well. I remember I was talking about the first time in my life, I was like, I don't want to do my client check-ins. Like I don't want to do my programs. I don't want to do my work. And I was like so conflicted because I worked so fucking hard to be here. And I was like, how am I dreading doing the thing that I once prayed to be doing? Do you know what I mean? It was so conflicting. It's the same analogy like when you feel that deep pain of agony and you hate how you look and hate how you feel and you finally change. But when you change and you feel confident and then you have those days where you still feel like shit, you're like, what the fuck's wrong? Like, what am I doing wrong? And I think with that, it's just like understanding you're not doing anything wrong. It's the name of the game. When you're an ambitious person, when you continuously want to see new levels of life and continuously pressure, just take advantage of life. That it's a high stress to be. There's a lot of animosity when you're like, hey, I know I'm going to die one day. And I'm not saying you got to be morbid, and maybe that's something I'm learning as I'm speaking about this out loud, that maybe I'm hyper fixated on it too much and I got to relax a little bit, enjoy the present, but I do that as well. It's just more so the fact that the little bits of emotional trauma that you've experienced in life will always come back to haunt you in some form. And the reason I'm saying this is because right now it's March 1st. I'm in prep for a bodybuilding show. It's going well. It's going fucking great. My clients are doing great. My content's doing great. My market, everything that I want to be doing in my life right now is absolutely going perfect. Me and Emma's relationship's perfect. My relationship with my family's fucking perfect. My relationship with myself, like everything could not be better. Like it could not be better. So when those days come out of nowhere and you feel like shit and you feel like you haven't made no progress, you feel like you're not doing as good as you should be doing in all these different areas, it's not a bad thing The biggest thing you got to be aware of is that it's going to happen. No matter what level of life, you could literally get 16 master's degrees, compete in 16 bodybuilding shows. You could be in the best shape of your fucking life to the point that the entire world puts you on a pedestal. You can make enough money to fucking retire yourself, your families, your families, your next 16, 17 generations. You could be going through a bad breakup and you could be feeling better and still feel, those emotions from before. You could be going through grief and like still have those things come up 10, 15 years later. No matter what you've grown from, whatever you kind of went through is going to kind of still be there. And it's not about being like boohoo me, like I'm never going to be healed. It's about understanding who you were during those versions of yourself to give yourself that respect today. Like it's totally normal for me to feel exhausted. It's totally normal for me to like second guess myself and if I'm doing everything right. And I think it's normal and it's a byproduct of just working hard. If you don't reach your ceiling meaning your maximal potential and putting in attention and effort every single day, you're never really going to understand where your weak points are. And stress, when we let our emotions and our stress consume us and fuck up our emotional state, fuck up our ambition, and we kind of become numb to the life, that's when we understand that we really just need to take a step back. And what I mean by that is relax, enjoy your life, and give yourself some praise. And right now I'm just putting a lot of pressure on myself. I can feel it. I need to sit down and do everything every single day and just relax. And I've been doing that, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it just happens. Some days you just wake up and you don't feel your best, and it's completely fucking fine. Some days there's a reason, some days there's not. But the biggest thing is when you're progressively trying to become the best version of yourself, it's just something you got to be aware of. Because I know, prime example with a lot of my clients, when they join the program, there's usually the first 4 to 8 weeks is progressively getting better. Every check-in, there's something in terms of feedback to get better at, in terms of nutrition, the workouts. They're learning new things about hydration, systemizing things. There's a lot of, it's a new car smell. There's nothing that they really need to just, they're still building things up. There comes a point where they're so consistent that you just got to allow things to change on their own. And, when things go to change on their own, prime example, nutrition, once you start hitting it, you're golden. Once you start hitting your workout protocols, you're golden. Once you start hitting your hydration protocols, you're golden. The rest is just staying consistent enough for your body to change and adapt and to grow. During that time, you may go through several fucking emotions of feeling your absolute best, on top of your shit, looking in the mirror feeling proud, to be doing the exact same routine and knowing you're progressing to the next day literally feeling absolute fucking trash. And at the end of the day, like I said, there's two sides of it. There's one, it's a stress response. How far are you pushing yourself? Do you need some time off? Because for me personally, I'm super self-aware. I know I'm a high-functioning stress person, but when I start to have certain stressors come up, I know I need to take a step back. Prime example, last few days feeling super stressed. Me and Emma had a conversation. It's where do I think it's stemming from? And she kind of felt the same way in terms of some things that we were doing. It's okay, cool. We're not doing anything wrong, but we just got to be a little bit more aware as to what we're doing each day and each week that's making us feel this pressure. It's because we're working super fucking hard. So the pressure of working super fucking hard and being tired along that just allows you to maybe slip up sometimes. Slipping up could be, you end up not eating your food, you may miss a workout, and those don't happen to me, but happens to a lot of other people. For me, it ends up being a mental thing. I start to wake up not motivated. I start to feel tired all the time. My depression starts to kind of come back up. My anxiety, I start to feel angry. And that's just kind of what I've been feeling lately. And it's I was talking to somebody else as well. 9 times out of 10, when you have those emotions that come up that remind you of oh fuck, am I making progress? It's almost like that deep pit in your stomach. That's why I like to say that agony, right? You second guess everything you're doing, but one, as much as I'm saying that's part of the process, another huge side of that is typically that means you're about to transcend into another level, because you're literally cleansing these versions of yourself that are ridding yourself, which is, when you have a detox, think about it from a physiological sense. It's always, the detox stage is always hard, but you feel good afterwards, right? So this is an emotional detox that you're outworking your old patterns, your old emotional patterns. So you're starting to cleanse all these patterns, cleanse this stress, but it's never going to go away 110%. When you first started your fitness journey, your ups and downs of feeling your best was a lot. But then when you start to gain regularity, gain seasons, and understand where you're at, you have more of what's the right word I should say? You have a more of balanced emotional state around your entire goals, because you've been here before. Usually it comes with you start feeling like shit because you let things go, and then you got to go hard again, and you go hard again, you got to let things go because you get too stressed because you're going too hard, and you're going to kind of go balance back and forth like that several times until you find a good rhythm with nutrition and going to the gym. But I just wanted to share that because, literally this year has started off absolutely fucking perfect. It did. We moved home from Mexico in December, spent a lot of time with the family, took a lot of time off, started this year absolutely fucking rocking it, haven't missed a fucking beat. and like doing good on all fucking fronts. And it's just, just woke up the past few days just a little bit exhausted and just like questioning if I'm doing as much as I could. And the funny thing is though, like when these emotions come up, sometimes there's validity in them. Like for a prime example, I know there's some things that I should be doing each day from a work standpoint that could progress my entrepreneurship career more, but I'm just not doing it, just based out of just neglect, like not paying attention to it. And I say that because that is a little bit of my stress, which is something that I actually can't work on to reduce the risk of getting that stress again. Do you know what I mean? So as much as these emotions suck, there is validity and answers within them, which I think is why there's always like a good, like kind of benefit to be going through those hard times. Because if everything was great all the time, then things are fabricated. Something's not right. You know what I mean? There's got to be turmoil. There's got to be stress. There's got to be like those good days, those bad days when it comes to the good days as well, because it's all about the yin and the yang and the balance. You know what I mean? But I just thought that was, just important because I know a lot of you guys that listen to the podcast, like I say, are like people I talk to all the time. They're my clients, a lot of my community members, and I see where all you guys are that I chat with for the most part. And if you're anything like me, which most of you guys are, I know you guys are tired. I know you guys are exhausted. I know you guys don't want to continue to show up and put in the work and track your macros and, like maybe stick to those hard boundaries in your life. Because right now is about the time where you're either like really diving deep into your goals and your life goals and going all fucking in, or you're folding because the pressure's too fucking much. Stress is too high, maybe work's too fucking busy, maybe your family's too busy, maybe you got too many things going on in your life, whether it's education, whether it's relationships, whether it's family stuff, whatever it may be. There's things in your way that you're either going to let them tell you that you can't continue to progress and continue to go hard, or you're going to kind of feel like I'm feeling right now and be like, hey, like, I know I need to continue. I don't need to sit there and have to hit the panic button, reinvent the fucking wheel and start like a whole new game plan. What I need to do is double down on what I know is working and figure out where my stress is coming from. And, 80 out of all my stress, let's say 100% of my stress is here. I know 15 to 25% of that stress is from some work I'm just not doing. I'm going to get that done. I'm going to fucking focus on that and get it done. The other 15, 30% maybe is literally my mental perspective on some of the things that I'm doing. I could change the way I'm viewing some things. I could change the pressure I'm putting on myself. That leaves the 50% of that rest of that stress more manageable, because stress is good. It means that you're adapting, you're changing. No stress means you're comfortable, you're not fucking moving in your life. You know what I mean? But we just can't become victims to our stress. And that's the kind of the main thing I guess I'm trying to say. And I guess that'll be the topic of the episode is, don't become a victim to your stress. Because this last week, man, like it was crazy. Like I literally, like it's why I'm a big believer that mental health matters so fucking much more than the physical goals and things like that. Because I have everything I've ever wanted to right now. And I still wake up some days with that deep agony and pain. And you can hear it in my voice because like I can feel it. And I don't think it's ever truly going to go away. I just really don't, no matter what work you do. But I just know it's something that you're always going to have to be it's a relationship with yourself. You got to be appreciative for what you felt before in the past, to be able to look at that from a perspective and use that as a mirror to see how fucking far you've come now. And if you're trying to be the best version of yourself on all avenues for 2026, and you've been listening to these podcast episodes, we've been chatting the last 2-3 months starting this year, then you're tired right now. But this is when you got to go hard as fuck, because I can promise you, once you get past March and realize how much more you're capable of come April, May, June, when you glide into the fucking summer, glide into spring, feeling your fucking best, you'll always look back on this year and know that this is the time that you put all your fucking energy and efforts and intentions into you and didn't fold no matter what. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it, as it always is at the end, which is why I'm so blessed to be able to sit here and share these types of things with you guys, because you guys get so much fucking value out of it. And honestly, it's like an organic therapy session for me, to be like 100%, because then the conversations that come from this not only help me heal, but me talking about it, sharing it, and having impact heals. There's so many levels to it, and I think it's just such an incredible way, again, to go back to like how much blessed my life is, but I'm still dealing with some things, you know what I mean? Because we're all fucking human. But other than that, I appreciate you guys all, as always. I hope you guys are absolutely fucking thriving and absolutely crushing this fucking third month of the year already, which is crazy. It's March 1st, and let's just keep doing what we do best, which is lead from the motherfucking front, and let's stay 10 toes down, chin up, chest out, and get through this next month so we can look back and know that we killed the first fucking quarter of the year. Let's go.